Alright there guys, Sowerz here, and I'm going to do another commentary, and the gameplay you've seen in the background is from Swanny from our last gameplay, which I did, of my point of view, against GWH on Dome, and a lot of you wanted to see Swanny's gameplay because he drops a 30 bomb, so I've just stuck that in the background for you guys. But yeah, we're trying to upload a lot more gameplays to our channel, as you might have noticed, and Luke started to upload a lot more. Now we both have our own capture cards, it's allowing us to do that. But we won't be uploading too much over the next week because Swanny's actually on holiday, so we won't be playing too much unless we use a pickup now and again, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's just to clear the situation up on that. Also, I just want to quickly say the montage, yes, we are doing a, well, a dual tage, as we call it, but we are doing another one from Modern Warfare 3. That is well underway, and I'm not sure when it'll be out. We're hoping it'll be out before WGL 7, but we'll see on that. But yeah, we're looking forward to release that, and we usually do on every game, so you know, a lot of you guys might have been waiting for me to say that, but yeah, just clearing that up as well. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about a few things and answer a few questions, because I did start answering a couple of questions from the last one, or inbox questions. But just talk a bit about Prophecy. Obviously we were in the WGL PROAM tournament. It was basically 8 teams that were invited. Well, actually there were 6 teams invited, but then there was 2 teams that qualified as well. And there was a few American teams got invited as well. There was Optic. In the end there was 3 American teams because one of them dropped out at the start, but there was Optic, Envy and Collapse took part. So obviously it's going to have some good matches, and it did. There was some controversy which I'll talk about in a minute, but I just want to talk about what happened for us. I mean, we started off, we had the group with us, MIP, Collapse and Anti. That's what the group ended up being, and we didn't qualify in the end. We won 2 of our games and lost 1, and we still didn't qualify, which was a bit of a shame. But basically we won our first 2 games against Anti and MYP, and then we had our game against Collapse, who are one of the top American teams. They're all well-achieved players, and we knew it would be a tough game. But the bad thing was, it was straight after the England-Italy match, and we were pretty gutted. It was straight after that match because we just watched England lose. We didn't practice at all. Shane had been to the pub. He came back. He clearly wasn't in a fit state to play, and I just knew what was coming. But we ended up losing that game, and you know, we didn't do ourselves justice in any way, really. We want to play them again. Like, we really wanted to play them again in the tournament if we qualified, and we were expecting to qualify because we heard Collapse were 2-0 up against MYP, and all they had to do was beat MYP for us to go through, and somehow they ended up losing it. But I heard there was like connection issues and stuff. But in the end, MYP, as far as I'm aware, won it fair and square. So you know, MYP ended up going through, and I think the final now is Collapse versus TCM. So MIP lost in their semis, I think, but I'm not sure about that. Yeah, they did, yeah, because they played TCM. So yeah, that's how it turned out for us. It was a bit of a shame, really, because I think if we qualified, it'd been really good to play Collapse again if we would have qualified through and actually properly prepare. But you know, it's our own fault. We can't really make up any excuses, but we're just a bit gutted that it turned out the way it did, really. But yeah, I just want to say a great shout out to WGL as well for getting that tournament underway. It kind of gave a lot of the top teams something to actually compete and practice for online, and give us a bit of motivation in between these big breaks between lands, because I mean, so recently there's so many lands that, like I'm going to talk about in a minute. Basically there's so many lands now that teams really have forgot about online tournaments, and I guess WGL kind of you know, gave us something to play for online, and so it was great to be a part of that. And if they do something like that again in the future, we'd love to play it again. But yeah, I mean, for us now we've got EGL 7, I-46, DreamHack, which has recently been announced. That EGL will be running that as well for DreamHack, the Call of Duty side of it. So yeah, there's 4 lands now coming up. Oh, there's EGL 8 as well. That's what I meant to say. So you know, we've got 4 big events there for all the teams to look forward to, really. So there's just so many lands coming about now that online play kind of is falling behind a bit, and online just seen as practice now. But there's just so much coming up for us as a team. EGL 7's, I think it's 4 weeks from now when this will be uploaded, or 5 weeks. I think it's 5 weeks actually. So we're hoping to get a really big attendance. The whole scene is really, like, the last event we had 113 teams, I think, and obviously Optic came over as well. But there's a lot of rumours that Optic will be coming over again. They were called Apex in their last event, but they joined Optic back to Optic again. So it'd be great to see those guys again, and I've heard as well Envy might possibly be coming, but that's yet to be confirmed. And I've heard Fear might be as well. I'm not sure about Collapse. I think they're struggling on the financial side of things, but yeah, the more American teams the merrier, I guess, because it's going to draw more viewers in, more exposure, and I guess the more competition the better for all teams involved. So really we're just hoping that the attendance can be as strong as it was last time, and the scene's going to be going in the right place. I mean, if these 4 events are successful in the lead up to Black Ops 2, it's going to be great for the European scene. And I guess in a way, you know, with the American teams coming over here, it's kind of keeping the American scene alive in some ways, because they'll have something to watch. They'll be watching their top teams on the stream as well. So overall, these events really are just coming in, and really we couldn't have enough events because it's just great to see so many so far. But yeah, really looking forward to DreamHack as well, because I don't think there's been a major LAN in Spain yet. I mean, with obviously Reflex is in Holland, EEE is in Sweden, and EGL is usually based in the UK, so you know it's the first time that we're going to see big competition in Spain. And the scene over there is pretty big, obviously, with Pain Gaming that always just flood the stream chats when they're playing, at Reflex especially. So really that could be a huge event as well. I mean, I-46 have upped their prize massively. I think it's better than EGL's 7's EGL's prize pot if the same amount of teams turned up. So it's great to see I-Series really supporting COD as well, because the last event was great as well. So we're looking forward to that. So there's a lot to look forward to for our team. But I just want to say quickly, any teams out there really that are struggling, well, not struggling, but they don't know whether to go to an event. I say this every time, like whenever somebody asks me, just go to your first event. Everybody loves it. There's no doubt about it. When you go to your first event and you come back, you will not regret going. You'll be so pleased that you went. And any people out there that want to make it to the top, you've got to go LAN. You've got to prove yourself at LAN and meet the players and get a feel for LAN if you want to be in the top teams, because no top teams are going to pick you up if you don't go to LAN and prove yourself. So hopefully I'll see a lot of you guys back out in Blackpool at EGL 7. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly talk a bit about Prophecy and the LANs and that. And now I'm just going to talk about a few questions that I got sent. I think I've got about 3 minutes left, so I'll try and get a few out of the way. But yeah, from the last video, the first question was, in your opinion, what do you feel made Black Ops appeal more for LAN play in comparison to Modern Warfare 3? I'm not really sure what you mean with that question. I mean, Black Ops on LAN, if you ask any of the players that played at LAN, it wasn't the best at all, because you'd still have bullet registration issues. So there was a lot of issues with Black Ops on LAN. The really good thing about Black Ops though was obviously the LAN lobbies and the way you could customise them. So there's a lot of options with Black Ops. I think the only thing Modern Warfare 3 is lacking on LAN is obviously LAN lobbies, but I think they've been released now. Yeah, they have been released, so I guess it's on par with that now. But overall, I don't know, I think Black Ops had better maps, better spawns. The way the maps worked around the game types was so much better than Modern Warfare 3. We've seen on plenty of the maps that the spawns are absolutely screwed on some of them, especially Dome CTF. But we have to do the best with what we're given. And I think at the moment Modern Warfare 3 rules are as good as they can be. I mean, maybe stuns are debatable, but I think it's too late to change things like that right now. So I think it's okay as it is. But I think Black Ops overall suited competitive play a lot more. But I think Modern Warfare 3 is, I'm enjoying it a lot more. I don't know if it's just because of the team I'm in or because I've got a new connection through Modern Warfare 3. I don't know, but I'm enjoying Modern Warfare 3 more. But I think if you had Modern Warfare 3 on Black Ops maps, it'd be a great game. So hopefully I've answered that question best I could there. Next question is, if your brother wanted to play at LAN again, would you give greater loyalty towards him or your current team? I think basically what he's saying is if my brother wanted to play again, which he currently is playing, so it doesn't really make sense, but I'm guessing the person who asked this doesn't know, but Luke is playing, he's in link with Ryan, Mark and Legend, and it's the same team from their last event where they came 9th to 12th, which was a really strong placement. So I think they're looking to try and improve on that, maybe get top 8, top 6, but the amount of competition is going to be at this next event. I think getting top 12 again would be an amazing achievement for any team really. Like, it's weird because like back in the day, like a top 12 achievement was seen as not very good at all, like on Call of Duty 4, because there was only 20 teams at max turning up, but because there's so many teams now and so much competition, I'd say top 12, top 16 is a really strong placement for teams that are trying to class themselves as a top team anyway. But now that Luke will be sticking with that team for that event, and I'm pretty sure he will be for a long time, because Link Gaming are quite a successful org, quite a well-known org as well, and it's good to see them back as well. But yeah, hopefully I've answered that one. And I ain't got much time, so I'm going to just answer this last question here. How do you aim so good with a controller? It baffles me. I'm mostly a PC player, and aiming the controller feels awkward. And then he says, I suppose it's just practice, or once you're used to it, it's natural. Yeah, pretty much. Like, if it's like anything really, when you first try it, it is a bit weird, and I can imagine as a PC player, if you've come over to console, you're going to struggle at first, because the analogs are nowhere near as easy to control as a mouse, obviously. But I've been playing for years, and all the top players have. So you know, it's like anything. If you keep playing and keep practicing, you'll eventually get good with it. And honestly, it's not all that hard, or really, once you get used to it. People always say how tiny the skill gap is in COD, and in some ways, yeah, there is a tiny skill gap in COD, but it depends what you call skill. Some people call skill as in the aim, but there's so much more to a skillful player than just having a good aim, as you'll learn the more you play. So I wouldn't worry too much about your aim, just keep playing and it'll come over time. The most important thing is other aspects of the game, like being smart, making the right decisions, and the more you play, the more you learn. And hopefully, maybe watching some gameplays like the ones on my channel or other channels, you can learn a lot off that as well. But yeah, hopefully I've answered that. But I'm just going to wrap it up there, guys, because I know I've gone a bit overboard on time again. So yeah, if you guys want to ask any questions, it could be about anything. I'm not really fussed what it is. And if I get enough questions, I might just do a quick Q&A, just to answer loads of questions. It could be anything, like if you want tips or whatever, or questions about me and my team. I don't care really. I'll answer anything as long as it's got a good reason behind it. Or if you want to tweet me questions, that's fine as well, or inboxes. But yeah, make sure you follow me on Twitter if you want to tweet me on @Sowerz. Thanks for watching, guys. Please drop it a like if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Cheers.